Tenny fan, hello to everyone, and welcome back to Audiobook show, Tenny the Storyteller show. Please welcome to The Lottery of Shirley Jackson, Part 2, and with the reading voice of Tenny fan. Wish you be best, wish the audience be best for listening the audiobook story, the Storyteller show of Tenny fan. Thank you so much. With the Lottery, the novel, the short story written in 1948, June 26, 1948, by Shirley Jackson. Let's see at the last part. Mr. Summer and Mr. Adams had creating the lottery traditional. So what is happen next? Now part 2 begin. Let's see which will be happening. Zanini. After that, there was a long pause, a breathless pause, until Mr. Summers, holding his slip of paper in the air, said, "All right, fellows." For a minute, no one moved, and then other slips of paper were opened. Suddenly, other women began to speak at once, saying, "Who is it? Who has got it? Is it a Dunbars? Is it a Watson?" Then the voice began to say, "It's a Hutchinson. It's a Bill. Bill Hutchinson got it." "Go tell your father," Mr. Dunbar said to her oldest son. People began to look around to see the Hutchinson. Bill Hutchinson was standing quiet, staring down at the paper in his hand. Suddenly, Tessie Hutchinson shouted to Mr. Summers, "You didn't give him in time enough to take any paper he wanted. I saw you. It wasn't fair." "Be a good sport, Tessie," Mrs. Delacroix called, and Mrs. Rafe said, "All of us took the same chance." "Shut up, Tessie," Bill Hutchinson said. "Well, everyone," Mr. Summers said, "that was done pretty fast, and now we have going to be a hurry a little more to get done on time." He consulted his next list. "Bill," he said, "you try for the Hutchinson family." For he said, "You got any other household in the Hutchinsons?" "There's none and ever," Mrs. Hutchinson yelled. "Make them take their chance." "The other straw with the husband family, Tessie," Mr. Summer said gently. "You know that was as well as anyone else." "It wasn't fair," Tessie said. "I guess not, Joe," Bill Hutchinson said regretfully. "My daughter draws with her husband family. That's only fair. And I have got no other family except the kids. Then as far as drawing for families is concerned, it's you," Mr. Summers said in explanation. As far as drawing for households is concerned, that is you too, right?" "Right," Bill Hutchinson said. "How many kids, Bill?" Mr. Summer asked formally. "3, Bill Hutchinson said. "There is Bill Jr., and Nancy and little Dave, and Tessie and me." "All right then," Mr. Summers said. "Harry, you got their ticket bags?" Mr. Ray's nodded and held up the slips of paper. "Put them in the box then," Mr. Summers directed. "Take bills and put in." I think we ought to start over. I tell you it wasn't fair. You did not give him time enough to choose. Anybody saw that. Everybody saw that. Mr. Reyes had selected 5 slips and put them in the box, and he dropped all the papers but onto the ground, where the priest counted them and lifted them off. Listen, everybody, Miss Hutchinson was saying to the people around her. Ready, Bill? Mr. Summers said, and Bill Hutchinson, with one quick glance around his wife and children, nodded. Remember until Mr. Summers said, take the slip and keep them full until the last each person has taken one. Harry, you have little Dave. Mr. Rafe took the hand of the little boy, who came willingly with him up to the box. Take the paper out of the box, Davy, Mr. Summers said. Davy put his hand into the box and laughed. Take just one paper, Mr. Summers said. Harry, you hold it for him. Mr. Race took the child's hand and removed the full paper from the tie list and held it where little Dave, tight-fist and held where little Dave stood next to him and looked up at him wonderingly. At him too. Nancy next, Mr. Summers said. Nancy was 12, and her school friends breathed heavily as she went forward, switching her skirt, and took a slip daintily from the box. Bill Jr., Mr. Summers said, and Billy, his face red and his feet overlarge, nearly knocked on the box as he got paper out. Tessie, Mr. Summers said. She hesitated for a minute, looking around defiantly, and then set her flips and went up to the box. She snatched a paper out and held it behind her. Her lips, not her slips. Bill, Mr. Summers said, and Bill Hutchinson reached into the box and felt around, bringing his hand out at last with the slip of paper in it. The crowd was quiet. A girl whispers, I hope it's not Nancy, and the sound of whisper reached in the edge of the crowd. This is not the way it used to be. A man wanted to say clearly, people aren't the way they used to be. All right, Mr. Summers said. Open the papers. Harry, you open little Davis. Mr. Rice opened a slip of paper, and there was a general sigh to the crowd as he held it up, and everyone could see that it was blank. Nancy and Bill Jr. opened theirs at the same time, and both beamed and laughed, turning around to the crowd and holding the slip of paper above their heads. Tessie, Mr. Summers said. There was a pause, and then Mr. Summers looked at Bill Hutchinson, and Bill unfolded his paper and showed it. It was blank. It's Tessie, Mr. Summers said, and his voice was hush. Show us her paper, Bill. Bill Hutchinson went over to his wife and forced the slip of paper out of her hand. It had a black spot on it. The black spot Mr. Summers had made the night before with a heavy pencil in the coal company office. Bill Hutchinson held up, and there was a stir in the crowd. All right, folks, Mr. Summers said. Let us finish quickly. Although the villagers had forgotten the ritual and lost the original black box, they still remembered to use stones. The pile of stones the boy had made earlier was ready. There was stone on the ground with the blowing scrap of paper that had come out of the box. Miss Delacroix selected a stone so large she had to pick it up with both hands and turn to Miss Dunbar. Come on, he said. Hurry up. Mr. Dunbar had small stone in both hands, and she said, grasping for breath, I cannot run at all. You will have to go ahead, and I will catch up with you. The children had stones already, and someone gave little Davy Hutchinson a few pebbles. Tessie Hutchinson was in the center of a clear space by now, and she held her hands out desperately as the villagers moved in on her. "Isn't fair," she said. A stone hit her on the side of the head. Omen Warner said, come on to everyone." Steve Adams was in the front of the crowd of villagers, with Mrs. Race behind him. "Is one fair? Isn't it fair? Is it not right?" Miss Hutchinson screamed. And then they were upon her.